Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to pre-order upcoming Force of Will sets, ccgprime.com for singles and supplies, cardodoko.com for those rulers in the international market looking for product, and to our guest lecturer members, Vite Ramen. Class is in session.
Meta mother.
What a great line to have the intro stop playing on and let people hear right there. Hello, everybody. Welcome back after a long week of Force of Will to your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast. It's Office Hours featuring myself, DMO73, and I'm joined, as always, by my Grants.
There's a non-zero chance you guys may see me at Foul Fest. Hold on to your butts.
Paul Reisman.
Jeremy's Foul Dad.
I am Foul Father.
Father.
And joining us tonight, we have Ayush, Mr. Shrimpo himself.
How's it going, everyone?
Good to see you, buddy. Thank you all so much for being here. If you like what we're doing, want to consider supporting the channel, you can always click that join button down below if you're not already, or send some super chats to force me to try to put on these dumb gloves.
Yeah!
We're going to be talking about spoilers today.
Hey,
Dance,
make it happen.
We're like four in a row. Seriously, we're on a streak. If y'all drop the streak tonight, I'm gonna be kind of disappointed. But we're here. We're gonna talk about spoilers, the few that we have, and also get a little bit tinfoil hatty with I think we're still kind of expecting to see with the rest of this masterpiece, which is, in my opinion, shaped up to be quite the masterpiece. I think they're doing a really good job with it. But Let's
see what you did there.
Yeah. Mwah, chef's kiss. Let's see what we do here as we start with our extension rule, Those Who Betrayed Lorite. Extension rule that you can start the game with this card in your extension rule area and exactly 2 7 luminaries, magic rulers, so tag without tag, with different names. Only if you have 7 luminaries mage cards in your deck. You pay 1 void less to play the judgment processes of rulers you control. You may spend will to pay the activation cost of lost luminaries as long as they were ancient magic spells. 7 luminaries mage resonators you control, gain that you can play them from your removed area, and essentially you can burn a mana counter to reduce their cost by 1. You can only do it 1 time, so it's the Yokoshima effect kind of a thing. One thing to note is that Sol, Mercurius, and Mars had their text updated on their J-Ruler side to now be able to remove any matching attribute 7 Luminaries Demon card. So like Sol can remove a Fire, Water, 7 Luminaries Demon and not specifically the named one from back in the day. And also, spoiler alert, all of their new 7 Luminaries Mages are, checks notes, also 7 Luminaries Mage Demons. So
wow.
Now the being able to play them from RFG makes sense. So
who'd have thunk it?
Ayush, I'm gonna go to you first. What's your thoughts on this whole ancient magic tag gobbledygook?
I like it. I mean, to get started, I guess it gets around Gwynmore, which is nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, same with like a lot of extension rules, like some of the ones that we've seen, there's like some kind of like, I guess, limitation, but not really.
Right.
Like, hey, you need to have a certain amount of these cards in your deck. And then just being able to play cards for cheaper, which we'll see in just a second.
Yeah, this one is certainly less limiting than the previous one for Gilepis, considering how you're probably going to want to run 4 of each 7 Luminaries Mage that's tied to the 2 rulers you're going to do. So, like,
yeah.
Ta-da! There we go. It's done. I will say, though, like, I'm kind of glad that they made this less restrictive because Ancient Magics is, like, if you're, like, leaning heavy into, like, mana counters Ancient Magics, it's going to take most of your deck. Like, it's not a small engine by any means.
Yeah.
Good thing Star Scale is a good thing against burn. Yeah, we got good anti-burn stuff for sure. They don't feel like my Mindless Moonstart 2 Electric Boogaloo. We'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, for sure. Who needs burn when you can swing? Yeah, for sure. So let's jump into our first one. Speaking of, this is gotta rotate it because I had things shifted. Doing it live. Rotate. This is Uranus, the Arcanist of the Freedom Star. It's a 2-cost historical with swiftness, quick cast, barrier spells with quick cast, 7/5. Reunited with Mars, you get to make your fire 7 Luminaries Demons tokens with swiftness, and they can banish to produce a red. And then whenever they leave the field, you recover a fire resonator. The Lost Luminaries ability is tap and pay 2 red. Target ancient magic spell cannot be canceled until end of turn. Play only 2 Lost Luminaries abilities per turn. And on enter, put a 1/1 fire 7 Luminaries Demon resonator token into the field. If you control a water 7 Luminaries Demon entity, draw a card. I would like to point out that first off in the chat, World Flame turn 1 going second might, I guess, feel good, but burn everything to answer 1 stone, including your coin, and then your opponent calls stone. So honestly, not great. Just gonna point that out. World Flame summoning on 1, not really getting much value out of that. Just saying. I would also like to point out that if you open 3 of these in your opening hand, going second, or actually even think going first, you can just kill your opponent.
Oh.
Walk us through it.
So, let's talk about this. You start with 4 mana counters. Whee! Oh, also, it only specifically works... no, it works with regardless of who you're playing with. So, you have to have Mars, obviously. That's the biggest point. Stone plus 1 mana counter equals play Uranus. He makes a token. He then swings for 7. The token swings for 1. You banish the token to produce red. You then recover Uranus and swing for another 7. You have 1 floating red mana. And you can burn another mana counter to reduce the cost of the next Uranus by 1. So then you can play another Uranus and repeat the loop. And then do it again and repeat the loop. So... it's a mana neutral 1,500 damage. Or 4,500 damage.
Woo! Yay!
I think it's really like,
Wow.
you just gotta respect it. I mean, like, because again, it's worded the way that it's worded the same way that Yokoshima is worded. Things like mirror, muse spirit, all of that stuff can stop them. Because you're not paying full cost for the Uranus, you're just producing brain turn on. You're just reducing their cost, so you're not paying full cost for them. But it is something that you have to respect. It's one of the few currently known FTKs that persists into Paradox format. So just gotta respect it. I mean, like, with the new Mulligan rules, I will say opening triple Uranus is still hard. With the new Mulligan rules, like, it is harder to do, but it is doable. So you gotta be respectful. The FTK isn't super resilient, but you can hit lots of damage turn 1. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, there's in fact, a lot of text on this card.
Yeah,
A lot of really good text.
primarily tied to a ruler that has no real ruler side text on their front side. Because I do want to point out that Mars, Sol, and Mercurius do not have a way to generate mana counters outside of flipping. You get 2 at the start, and that's it. Therapist also helps to get him. There's a lot of things that can help against him, for sure. Going through the chat here. While I'm going through the chat, any thoughts from you guys on this guy?
He's cracked.
Continue.
He's insane. Again, just being able to cheat him out for essentially 1 and then deal, I mean, even like 8 on turn 1 is still pretty solid. Stallion's really good. Sorry, not 8, I lied. 15.
Yeah, it's 15.
At least 15, I lied. Yeah, 15 on 1 is really good. And then just bury the quick cast so you can't like attack order it or like Misty Dragon it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just really, really good.
Intimidation would be good, right, against this deck, because you just stop yourself from having to take any damage for the turn. Something to note.
Or just eat your opponent's Uranus.
That's true. You
They
could do
can't
that.
play it?
You could do that. You could
Yeah.
eat their card. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
He's an angry boy.
Don't do that. Stop.
Fun, Paul.
Surging Lightning.
know
Yep,
what you're
Surging
doing.
Lightning can answer it, right? Because that's not barrier. All of you Olivia stands out there. I will also point out that like going for this line is completely cancel. You can just cancel it, right? Like any form of cancel stops it, right? Now it's a little bit more resilient if they're going second because they'll have one will for interaction, which is fair. But you got to be just kind of cautious. It's the thing to watch out for if you're playing against Mars, which we haven't had an aggro deck in a bit, and we'll have to see what kind of comes out of it. They don't have the best.
This is really like we've only really had burn decks, not aggro decks, so this is actually kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like, it is getting pushed for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Not without answers, but still.
Never without answers. Force will always will have answers. It's just, did you draw them?
Yeah, right.
This is Sauron from Rings of Power Season 2.
Yeah. It is interesting to see the difference that Uranus has been a card before, and like man had an emotional breakdown and looks way different. He went through a whole change of he was a card in the historical deck. So
No, wait.
Mhm.
One sec.
No.
One sec.
wasn't he?
No.
He was the blue one.
No.
No,
Who is
that's
that?
Jupiter.
Oh, is it
Jeremy.
Jupiter?
No, sorry, that's Saturnius.
Saturnius.
Is the blue
Sorry,
one.
you're right.
Saturnius.
It was Saturnius.
Yeah, these are the
My
other 3
bad.
planets.
My bad.
These are the other 3 planets.
I'm sorry.
How
I'm
could you do that to
sorry.
me, Jeremy?
I'm sorry. Listen, would it
Ridiculous.
make you feel better if I go on to the next card?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go on
I'm
to the
tired
next
of looking at
card.
Uranus.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
This is Neptune, the illusionist of the Dream Star. Same kind of stuff as before. Quick cast flying, barrier spells with quick cast. She makes a water 7 luminaries deeper token on enter, and if you control a fire 7 luminaries demon entity, you draw a card. She gives the tokens flying, and they can be banished to put 2 mana counters on a J ruler. And when they release the field, you can return a resonator you don't control to its owner's hand, so she can't bounce her own stuff. Lost luminaries of tap and pay 2 blue to rebuy back a 7 luminary, an ancient magic. So
This card is significantly worse than the other one.
It's not an aggro card way, correct?
Yes,
I
correct.
think I think like right off the bat, I do want to say that I think these cards have been designed to be played as Soul X. I do not think they want you to play Mars plus Mercurius. I think they want you to play Mercurius with Soul backing her up, or Mars with Soul backing him up. Like that is the vibe that I get from these. And so, like, I do not think that Neptune pairs well with Uranus. I do think that Neptune pairs really well with Pluto. That we'll go into in a minute. Like, that's kind of that vibe that I get.
Pluto isn't a planet anymore.
If she bounced
But in
any
the course
resonator, I
will
think
it
she would
is.
make a lot of. Yeah, I mean, her being a 1-drop, I think is like pretty good. Like when you consider burning a mana counter for her, right? Like obviously, I think they're trying to set up for Mercurius to feel more as the control of the 2 packages, and Mars to feel more of the rush down. So like by herself, she doesn't serve a big threat, but I think she serves to fill in like the ability to keep your advantage up, right? Which I think is what Mercurius is going to want. People will definitely try Mercurius and Mars, 100%. Nobody's stopping you. But I think that I think Soul plus X will be better overall. What about this one, Ayush? What are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, this one. I mean, she's decent. Like, I think what Logan said is true. If she bounced anywhere, I think she'd be a lot more playable and a lot more appealing. Right now, I'm still preferring Uranus over her, but that could just be like a playstyle difference as well.
Yeah. I kind of am glad she can't bounce your own stuff, because then she'd be technically mana body positive, right? Because she'd be mana neutral, but the mana neutral is still going generate a body and bouncing one of your own, and bouncing your own thing back to hand. Like, as it already stands, she's like pretty good because she's like mana neutral and puts something back in your opponent's hand. And so
fair.
like, if you consider the idea of like being able to bounce your own thing back, I just think that's even more ridiculous that she like lets you also recycle. I don't know.
Yeah. The 2-mana counters is at least decent though. Like I do like that. It's pretty solid.
2-cost water resonator that you can't put into 2-cost water decks. I mean, you can. It just sucks.
I also really like the
No one's stopping you, Pat. It still generates a 1/7 Luminaries Demon token that then doesn't do anything. But hey, you get to draw a card. You could put it in a 2-cost water resonator deck. It just sucks.
Hold on. Wait, am I crazy? Or is the Reunited Mercurius Wizard not the full name of this card?
It's because the ruler like has Mercurius, Wizard like in its name that it like works. You don't have to have the full necessary.
Oh, that's okay. I get it, but
Yeah.
like that doesn't make me feel better about it.
Uranus has Mars, Fortune Teller in it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I've never read Mars's name because I haven't thought about Mars in about 10 years. So like,
That's fair.
I couldn't have told you.
That's fair. Yeah. Let's see. Speaking of the third luminaries, we have Pluto, who absolutely is going on my request list for a mat for Fowfest. This is Pluto, the Necromancer of the Destruction Star. 3-cost historical, quick cast untouchable, mythic barrier spells with quick cast. Reunited with Soul. At the end of your turn, draw a card, then discard a card. Put target fire or water 7 Luminaries Mage Resonator from your graveyard into the field. One thing to note is that you must have a target already in the graveyard for this ability to even trigger. So if she's the first one you play, that ability ain't doing you squat. Lost Luminaries, tap or pay red-blue. Search your deck for any ancient magic card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Play only 2 Lost Luminaries abilities per turn. And on enter, she puts a fire-water 7 Luminaries Demon token resonator into the field, and then draw a card. Overall stat line is 5/5, so not nearly as strong as the other ones. But designed to be the continual damage generator. Right? Because you're just going to constantly keep reanimating stuff.
Yeah. I do appreciate how the Lost Luminaries ability is literally just Ruin of Soul. Like, that's really cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for Pluto.
That's a nice little flavor text. I also really like that, like, do you think, like, Pluto, like, poked out her one eye so that she matched with Soul? And just like, because like they're also on the opposite side. So I don't know if maybe it was like a thing where it's like with Zuko, it's like, well, no, your scar's on the wrong side. No, this is the eye patch is on the right side.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to know the flavor. I want to know the lore behind Pluto's eye poke to get the matching.
Mean, for the luminaries as well. I think just in general, there's some really nice elements of like. You really see that it will be nice to not have to run Damblot. It will be nice not to have to run the little Drake. It'll be nice not to have to run the 3-drop dude for Soul. Like that they just got better, more cards that stand on their own that then they can also use to produce more mana counters when they Judgment. Like I just think that was something that those rulers really were going to need to be able to play in current age. And so I really like that change with the extension roll for these guys. Respecting Eminent.
They're still here. We're just in the background, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like they're still there. Like that's great art design. I think it's great.
She generates what, 4 bodies, right? Well, if you count herself.
So she would generate, if you're reanimating another,
So 3 actually.
She generate
3 other
herself. Yeah, 4 total bodies if you already have something in field. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is only at the end of your turn, though, so the quick cast side of her doesn't necessarily get as much value until you hit the like end of your turn kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because her Lost Luminaries ability is tap or pay, so like I don't really. She's very interesting in the fact that she has quick cast because she's the one out of all of them that didn't need it. Like that, she benefits the least from it. Weirdly enough, other than being a body on board, I guess. But yeah.
Well, there's also something to flashing her in and then paying her non-tap version cost with your mana counters, right?
Sure.
To just tutor something else out. Going into your turn. So I think there's something there.
Yeah, it being a tap ability does give you some credence to being able to use it on your opponent. Like you flash it in, and then before turn your recovery, you tap her, right, and then recover. So you
and then get another one,
and then you can get something good out of it, right? You know.
So I mean, in that way, so if you flash it in on your opponent's turn, you have gotten to 1/1, drawn a card, had the option to search for an ancient magic, and then you draw your card for turn, and then you can tap and get another card.
Yeah, I mean, it would burn your 2 Lost Luminaries abilities for the turn before recovery, but it certainly could let you do that.
Well, if you quick cast on your opponent's turn and use one of it.
On your opponent's
and then you
turn
go to
do
your
the
turn.
pay 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that. So like pay 2 during your opponent's turn. That's fair. Could generate a lot of value.
It could.
That's what I call value.
Yeah. And then your opponent drops a Metal Nightform Dragon, and you go, oh, shit. Flipped too many cards. Okay, next up we had Unexpected. One more card for each ruler, but it's actually 2 cards because it's alternative cards, which is very interesting to me. Did not see that coming. Oh, her enter is bad against Giotto. I don't necessarily know that her enter is bad against Giotto. It's gonna make you a addition. It's gonna make you a token and draw a card. Her end of
bad against Giotto?
Her end of turn effect is bad against Giotto because you won't have a graveyard.
Yeah,
I mean that's fair. Her enter effect would be good, man. Anyway, Uranus's Freedom Storm on the addition side costs 3 red. Not an ancient magic. Keep that important. Has reunited with Mercurius. Lost Luminaries of pay 4. Trigger this card's enter abilities. Play this only 2 Lost Luminaries per turn. Deals X 100 damage to up to 2 target players or J/Resonators, where X is the combined number of cards in each player's hands. And then on the Ancient Magic side, the Chant side, it's Dance of Confusion. 2 target Resonators lose all abilities and become 1/1 magic life forms until end of turn. If card was awakened, put its addition part into the field instead of putting this card into its owner's graveyard and pay Awakening of 1 red. I don't get this card.
Like, why does it exist?
No, so I get it in the sense that like it's a Mercurius card, right? But it's about burn damage, which is not Mercurius's shtick. Like weirdly enough, this card feels like it's better served if you paired Merc and Mars. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Correct.
this doesn't feel like it's meant for the idea of Soul plus Merc. This feels like it's meant for
not.
Mars plus Merc, which is
They're trying to sell us on making Mars playable, which is not the right thing to do.
Unless you're wanting to slam them with Uranus,
yeah,
then it is.
not super strong, but pops 2 things for 2 will and a counter. Yeah, I mean like it's fine. I like I don't think it's bad. It just like weirdly enough, it's all about Mercurius, but it feels like it's for Mars.
Wait, is Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong, the reunited text on Freedom Storm, does that only apply to the Lost Luminaries ability, or is it everything?
Yes, it's only the Lost Luminaries ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, it's not just Mercurius support. Like you get the
Right.
bonus of getting the enter trigger.
You
again.
could re-trigger
like-
the enter effect. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you could
But
just use
you
it
don't
as
have
just a
to.
Mars card. You could just use it as just a Mars
Yeah.
card. Yeah, that's fair.
It's just
Yeah.
you get a little extra bonus if you decided to be some kind of weird Mars Mercurius hybrid.
Yeah, I think this is designed to get around like eternal boards. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty relevant. So if you're like trying to do some board control,
You
there's
can
some
burn.
relevance
You
there.
can burn 3 mana counters and cast this for free. Awakened.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could awaken this by burning 3 mana counters, and just like have
Mhm.
it be free.
I
So
can
like
And it's
blank
okay.
2 of your dudes and then deal a whole bunch of damage to you based on the cards in my hand, based on the cards in both of our hands,
yeah. Mhm.
right? Which is not
Each
like
player's hey, it's each player's hands. So in ABC,
Oh,
in ABC.
that's a
format.
whole lot of damage.
Yeah, that's a
yeah, this is
lot.
actually really good at ABC.
Yeah, this
This
is
is
That's a
actually
lot
really
of
good at
damage. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very good ABC card. I agree with that.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it's for. Maybe it's maybe not necessarily like for Paradox, but definitely a really good ABC card.
Yeah, for sure, definitely a good
Um,
ABC card. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're saying Paradox instead of Wanderer because we as a collective should be thinking about Paradox more.
I'm fine with both. I think they're going to be again, I've gone on record with regards to Paradox that like I'm more interested in Paradox once we hit Devil Cluster, right?
Yeah.
And I think Paul and I have decided at this point in time that when Devil Cluster starts, content on the channel is going to be like on set release Paradox feature matches of the new rulers with deck profile videos that also explain what we would do for this ruler in Wanderer format. Like, here's our Paradox deck, and if you wanted to take it to Wanderer, here's what you would do. And then once we have all of them covered, primarily like the initial idea of a ruler in Paradox, then we're going to shift back to Wanderer feature matches until the next set drops, right? Because then we kind of cover the basis of what this channel is designed for, right? I think that's kind of the honestly, I've been making Paradox sets with spoilers, and I think it'll be a good time. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, my initial Logan, my initial hesitancy in terms of thinking in terms of Paradox right now is I haven't seen the first Paradox ban list.
That's real.
Right? So I'm just like, I know there's a lot of people out there that are like testing Paradox format with the Wanderer ban list, and I'm like, that to me honestly sounds like the biggest waste of my time because like no notes. I have no idea what this ban list is going to be. So I'm just like not even going to go down that road.
Jeremy, just build for no banless Paradox.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But like, I'm glad that people are. I'm certainly glad that I'm seeing Paradox being talked about. I think it's serving as a people are excited about the concept of it. Interestingly enough, I had a conversation with Jeremy Lindley, who's in the chat, about how
Hi, Jeremy Lindley.
There's like 5 with cards that we've seen so far. There are 5 FTKs that exist within Wanderer format, and only one of them survives into. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all pretty disruptible. Like not really like, hey, these exist, please respect them. Okay, you've respect them, good. There's only one of them that persists into Paradox format, and it's exclusively Triple Uranus. Like nothing else like follows. Like,
he said it.
Yeah,
he didn't
you
say
go.
Uranus for once. Let's go.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
got me. You got me.
Tiki's in chat. Somebody make Jeremy wear the gloves now too. Continue embarrassing him.
You only got 26 seconds left to get the super chats. You're running out of time.
Get him in. Get him in. Get him in.
So let's talk about Neptune Shadowstar, which I think is honestly a much better card than the other one. So Neptune Shadowstar, 3-drop edition, reunited with Mars. For 2 red, you can remove the top card of your deck from the game, can play it from your removes area until the end of game. So that's just pay 2, draw 1. Okay. Enter, you pay 0 rather than pay the judgment cost of processes of 7 Luminary Mage rulers you control until end of turn. And quick cast on Mars' Mental Flare. This card deals X100 damage to each player, where X is the combined actual cost of each other spell you don't control in the chase area multiplied by 2. If this card was awakened, put its addition part into the field instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard, and the awakening is 1 blue. This card is quick cast, let's do Judgment. Like, this card is, before recovery, I'm going to make Judgment free. Great, got it. Judgment for free. To me, infinitely stronger than the Mercurius spell. Being able to just be like, I do not have to spend any will. I'm going to flip and ramp 5 or ramp 10 by removing a 7th Luminaries Mage from my hand. instantly feels so much stronger to me.
Yeah. Although the burn damage to each player, it's not great.
It does hit, yeah, it does hit both. Yeah, right. That's like it does hit both of us, which is totally fair.
Not great.
It's not great. There is a downside to it. It also doesn't count any of your own spells, right? But there is this world where it's like, oh, me and the control deck are fighting over a really long sequence of burn stuff. Most of my other burn spells probably aren't going to resolve, but I'm not going to let them go to waste. Like, I'm going to hit us both, but I'm at least going to do, not make these burn spells go to waste.
And also, at the end of the day, if there's nothing on the chase and your opponent isn't trying to like force out something, you could just play this thing for no value, technically speaking. Take 0 damage, your opponent takes 0 damage, and you just judgment for free.
That's what I'm saying. Like, before recovery, pay 3 on pay 3 on an empty chase before recovery. Put in the addition. Okay. Judgment's
Empty
for free.
chase, the funniest phrase I've heard today,
Fair
Jeremy.
enough.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Coastal Raging Messiah and have them take double damage.
Yo! Let's go! Oh my god. Steven just was gonna pop in here and be like
lurking in the corner of this entire
always
the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I've been here the whole time.
Next up we have Pluto's Revival Engine. 1 blue, 1 red, 1 colorless, reunited with Soul, gives it the Lost Luminary ability of an ability to play a card named Twin-Headed Dragon from your graveyard without paying its cost, which then you can awaken. So you can essentially just only have to pay for the awakening cost of this ability.
As if it was an ancient magic.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Tap, and then so tap, and then you either pay red or blue. So you tap it in both situations, and then you pay red or blue. Put the top card of your deck into your graveyard, draw a card, which would then set up for her to have targets. But more importantly, tap, produce red or blue. Crazy. Woo. And
Love
on
it.
the spell side, Soul's Booby Trap. Return target non-magic stone, non-jade ruler entity to its owner's hand. This card deals X 100 damage to each player, where X is the total cost of the chosen target. If it was awakened, you put the addition cost. You put the addition side out of the field instead of going to graveyard. It has the double
Soul
cost
used to
awakening.
be so much better. Soul used to be so much better at making bombs. Like the old bomb that he made would just blow up on your opponent's side of the field. This Booby Trap hits both players. He's really gone downhill in terms of his trap making skills.
This one, honestly, like the addition side is way better than the resonator side, than the chant side, and the fact that the chant side is so expensive. It costs 4 to cheat it in. I would honestly rather just pay 3 for the addition that can then tap and immediately refund one of the 3 that I paid for it.
But
right?
Jeremy, if you're playing Soul Mercurius, you can just drop this thing for 0 mana on turn 1, bounce something, and get a ramp card. Don't you start with 4 mana counters? It's an ancient magic.
That's good. Yeah, that's true. You could do that.
Otherwise, you have to wait. Why would you do that? Why wait when you can head now?
I definitely don't think you're playing this in Soul Mars. I do think you're playing this in Soul Mercurius. I could see that.
Correct.
For sure.
Yeah. But also, I don't think this card is not very good in terms of how quickly and how likely it is that you're getting what you want to get out of it. Like, the addition side is great, but it's either 3 will, or you play a mediocre card to make it happen.
4 mana counters.
Right. And you have to target something. There has to be something on the field, I assume, for this to actually work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just
unless you're just playing 0 mana Regalia, Soul Mercurius, and you just play a Excalibur and you bounce it, take 0, and then do you see the mental gymnastics I have to do to make me
someone did point
feel
out
like this card's okay?
Someone did point out that the interesting part is this is just Soul aggressively walking up to you. Like, these are ancient magics, so interestingly enough, these are also Yokoshima support.
Yes.
Because he can make them quick cast.
Oh.
So that's neat.
Oh.
Yeah. You do think you can see this in
That's
Sol plus
neato.
Mars only to pounce your own Uranus? Yeah, that's fair.
Yo,
That's fair.
Logan.
I mean, hey, for sure. Honestly, they could have given just Sol just Pluto in the extension rule, and I would have been like, yep, that's enough. Like, that's fine. He's fine. So, like, the fact that this card isn't knocking my socks off, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with this. I'm not disappointed in what the Luminaries got. When you get, the reprints that we know are coming, Twin-Headed Dragon, which has been updated so that you can, like, do better stuff with its awakening. Like, you're not, like, as pigeonholed into things. It's, like, up to 1 kind of a thing, so you can't get punished by it. World Flame Summoning, Ancient Knowledge, Clockwork Time Bomb. I think those are the 4 that we've seen. Did I miss one?
Have we seen Rune of Soul
World
or
Flame
no?
Summoning.
Yeah, I already talked about World Flame Summoning.
World Flame does 800 to each other player, so it works in ABC.
Oh, Rising from the Depths.
Oh, Rising from the Depths is the other one.
Yep.
Yes, for sure. The big finisher spells. Because Mars's big finisher spell is already in Trinity Cluster, right? It was reprinted for Yokoshima, so we don't have to worry about that getting slotted in here. Same with Ancient Heartfelt Fire. Ancient Heartfelt Fire also got slotted into Trinity Cluster, so don't need to worry about that as a reprint.
Twin-Headed Dragon. The Awakening cost still does 1k to target J/Resonator, but now it's a J/Resonator, not just Resonator. The blue side rest up to target J/Resonator. So everything is just better.
Yeah, just more flexibility and not being punished because it's up to, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And just like that, we only have 2 cards left to talk about.
Wow.
One card was spoiled for us on the official page yesterday. This is the Blood Crazed Neonate. We are still waiting to see what content creator we think has the other 2 Mikage cards, but we can at least talk about Blood Crazed Neonate. We think it's Converging Wills. Cannot confirm that is the case. Still waiting on it to get posted. Mikage support. Toby, if you're not in the chat saying tier 0 Mikage, I will be disappointed.
This is the wrong Mikage.
It's a Mikage, tier 0.
He's older and more battle worn.
Blood Crazed Neonate is a vampire for 1 black and 1. Has Overgrowth, which is important because Mikage does like +1/+1 counters in his support suite. Bloodlust, First Strike, and Bane. First Strike and Bane is an incredibly dangerous combination. Cards named Blood of the Mikage you control gain Quick Cast. That's busted. +2, gain Quick Cast. The added text of put 2 blood counters on a J ruler you control, and Mastery Vampire in all zones. Automatically makes that insane. Reunited Ally of the Black Moon or Eternal Vampire Mikage Seijiro. Bloody Clone. Whenever this card attacks, recover it. Put a Shadow Vampire Resonator token of this card into the field, attacking the same attack object, then remove this card from the battle. Each turn, only 1 Bloody Clone ability triggers per player. And you can remove 2 blood counters from a J ruler you control to draw 2 cards. I want to preface everything by saying, we do not know how creating an attacking object works in this game. We don't know if the token comes into play tapped and automatically attacking. We don't know if the token comes into play recovered and then for attacking. Like, we don't know yet. The CR will clarify. If it works like Magic, it's going to be coming into play tapped. The thing, right? But I will note this is a vampire. So then, if they don't block the Neonate Bloody Clone token, you can then tap Blood Crazed Neonate to quick cast the Blood of the Mikage, make it huge, get 2 counters on your Mikage, and then immediately burn them to draw 2 cards. God, this card is good.
I don't think that's how that works.
It does. It is absolutely how that works.
So the Bloody Clone ability, if you are attacking with this card and creating a token, never mind. Recover
it. Yeah.
Recover it.
And then do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. Which,
correct.
By the way, Blood of the Mikage, for you to remember, gives the card +8/+8, and then it dies at the end of the turn. The token.
Is it just at end of turn?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hang on. I need to.
Yeah, it's
So
plus
this
A plus
is
A
it
precision.
at the
Is it-
next end of turn destroy. This is a kill
Yeah.
spell.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Can the clones make clones on later turns? If the clone doesn't die. But keep in mind that only one bloody clone will trigger per player. So if you swing with
Yeah.
4
It's a-
blood crazed
it's a
neonates,
hard
only
once
one
per
of them,
turn.
only one of them will trigger. Yeah,
It's like nuts. Oh my god. This is a marvel.
it is the Marvel. It is the Marvel rare,
It is.
and it
It
feels
is a
like
marvel,
it. And it feels like it
and it has to attack every turn. So
because
you're
it's
gonna
got
just make it
bloodlust.
tokens.
Yeah, you're just gonna be making tokens.
Yeah. Dear God.
And you can't even
Um,
block it. You can't even block it because it gets removed from combat. And then the thing that you block with, the token will have first strike and bane. So you can't even kill the token.
Oh, it's a copy of this thing. Wait. Oh. Wait. Oh, wait. Oh no. Okay. So the Blood of Mikage will only gain quick cast, put 2 blood counters, and mastery in one instance, right? It's not like that stacks, does it?
Cards named, yeah,
Correct.
for sure. Yeah. So if you had 2 of these, you wouldn't gain 4 blood counters, I don't think.
That's what
No.
I don't.
That,
Yeah, I
that
don't
shouldn't
think
be that
so.
way.
But the fact that it's like it's having them gain it, but it's like this instance of them gaining it per. I don't know enough about things
Yeah, for
to
sure.
try and make something
You're
happen.
getting
here, 'cause
a
this
bit
could be
tired of first strike bane stuff. I think you're referring to multi-strike bane, which is what we currently have going on.
This is,
Adelbert says
here
hello.
we
You know, Eternal's gonna be pretty good in this against this deck. But a draw engine for Mikage, or even just by itself. Keep in mind,
Alejandro.
they do gain the multiple times to put 2 counters. Cool, great.
Well, they do.
Cast 1 Blood of the Mikage, gain 4 blood counters.
And then just keep bloody cloning each turn, and then you just.
Oh no! This means no. Hold on. This means that the
Okay.
very first bloody clone token you make will then give your Blood of the Mikage 4 blood counters. So then you draw. Oh, also keep in mind, this doesn't say once per turn remove 2 blood counters from a J ruler you control. This just says, hey, you got 2 blood
No.
counters. You want 2 cards?
Yeah. No, this.
Yep.
No, this very specifically does
You
not
draw
have any once per turn.
4 cards.
God.
You draw 4 cards with 1
If you
attack.
could find some way to produce enough Darkness Will while this is going on, you could create a draw engine out of this.
Yeah, 100%. Mikage does
Yeah.
not need to depend on another color to get his card draw in. Dang.
Nope. I guess Blood of the Mikage is a good card now.
Yeah. I think it's probably getting a reprint in the set. I
Oh,
imagine.
listen,
Yeah.
always has been. Always has been. You can. It's
Shimpo,
not. It has.
us 3 Mikage bros have been really talking about this card for a bit. Shupo, what do you got for me on this one?
Yeah, I mean, as everyone said, it's a really good card. Especially even better when Alejandro said that it's multiple times. And
yeah.
it's like you could just draw 4 cards, which is insane off 1 attack. So drawing's gonna be absolutely nuts. And we don't know, like, is a token gonna be hitting the object first, or is the resonator?
Well, the resonator gets removed from combat. So he
Alright.
specifically
Okay.
isn't
Oh, just like
hitting
full on,
anything.
okay.
Like he gets
Yeah.
like he like swings, makes a dude, and then says, "Go." You go.
Oh, it's not one. Okay, it's not like
Yeah.
like Justice where like he can swing and then like recover, but that damage is still like
no. He's removed
Okay.
from the
Yeah.
combat. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the intent is that this thing saves itself by sending a shadow.
Right.
I
Right.
see. Yeah,
So
right.
it's
right,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
recover. It's gonna put a shadow in. The shadow's gonna be attacking instead of it.
Right.
Yeah. Jeez,
Pretty
dude.
good. Pretty
This is a
good.
good card for Mikage.
Dear God.
You can't attack again once you've recovered. You could. You could.
Well, you have to. It has bloodlust.
It does have bloodlust, so it would have to attack again. It just won't make another token.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you
Um,
essentially are either going to swing with this again or use it to play Blood of the Mikage or some other mastery card. Good question, Mamu.
The fact that it's not balanced to just be double black kind of insane.
Well, I mean, the bloody clone ability is exclusively Mikage. Everything else about this card is awful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You would
only a
never,
Mikage card.
you would
You're
never
not
play
playing
this
out-
card outside of
Yeah.
Mikage. Absolutely
No,
not.
no. I'm saying you're playing this in Mikage, but you have the option of splicing
Oh.
a second or even a
Yeah.
third color
100%. Great. Green.
if you wanted
Black
to.
green.
And this is still consistent on
Black
turn
green.
2 if you wanted it to be.
Black green Mikage.
Black
Let's go.
green, black blue, black white. I mean, you could do so many things.
Does Rhea
So
use
many
blood
things.
counters? She uses mystery
No,
counters.
mystery.
Mystery counters.
It's a
He's
mystery. Ooh.
Ooh.
Zoinks.
It's not like we have perfect 2-color stones even in Paradox. Oh wait, we do. Whoops. Black red Mikage. Yep, also an option. Okay, we got one other card to talk about
Whoa.
that was spoiled today. This is Ryula, the princess of a new generation. A sub-ruler for Aid, Millium, Prince of the Light Palace. J-rulers you control have Millium, successor of the Dragon Crest, in addition to their other names, and gained Fairy Tail in addition to their other races. That's so that you can play the blue-white stone without having to pay life when it comes into play. You may roll an additional die when performing force effects, and at the beginning of your turn, if you control a ruler, roll a 6-sided die. If the result is 4 or higher, swap your ruler with a ruler you own with Millium in its name from outside the game. If you do, put X plus 1 dragon power counters on it, where X is the number of dragon power counters your former ruler had. If the result is 8 or higher, draw a card. Couple things to note. 1. We have heard from Alejandro that there will be a clarification in the next CR that the force effects will also be referred to as any time a card asks you to roll a 6-sided die. So even though at the beginning of your turn, if you control the ruler, roll a 6-sided die, that will be considered a force effect. And as such, you will roll 2 dice for it so that you can get 8 on this effect. Secondly, one of the big questions I have about this card is under current rules for swapping a ruler, it would take the ruler and put it in the expel area. And so you wouldn't be able to, under current CR, swap back and forth between the Milliums over and over and over again because this doesn't specify expel. I'm curious if that's going to get updated in the CR to still let you swap between the Milliums over and over and over again, because that does feel like a missed opportunity to really give some buff to Millium here. That being said, straight out the gate, just having a second die every time you roll force is pretty good. Like,
I can't wait to roll boxcars or snake eyes every single time. No in between.
Minha, then remove the card from battle so the vampire gets removed from battle or the attacked object. The vampire. To go back to Cognate. So the way it works is Cognate attacks, makes a token that is attacking the thing that Cognate was attacking. Cognate recovers, is no longer in combat. Backs off. That's kind of how that works. Do one
Please
counters
replace
transfer?
all
No.
instances of cognate with neonate. Thank you.
Sure. Neonate. Correct.
Yeah.
Do 100 counter transfers? No, because they are different cards. This specifically is saying you put X counters on it based on the number of counters that were on the previous ruler. 1/1 counters would not transfer between them. This does mean that some turns you might just not have Dragon Millium online when you want access to him. Maybe. Very true. So we'll see. Dragon Millium's playable. Hell yeah. I feel like roll of force should have just been force 1. Yeah, probably. Probably not wrong on that one, Logan, that it should have just been force 1 to just be more clear. Unnecessary confusion. Hydra is a thing. Pandora and Ryula, 3 dice per roll. Dice. I do want to say there was also an update to Millium that now Millium says that you may pay the attribute cost of Fairy Tail spells with light mana, not just Fairy Tail resonators. So I'm not entirely sure exactly how much that opens up for him. I'm not really sure what how many other like fairy tale spells we have that aren't already base white. Paul's gonna look that up, but it is an update to
I'm looking
Millium.
that up right now.
And Dragon Millium now has Prince added to his racial types.
Whoa.
Neverend was already a resonator. I'm not talking about resonate. He already could play
No,
Neverend.
Neverend makes everything. Fairy tales.
Neverend makes everything fairy tales. That's true. That's
Yeah.
dumb and also awesome.
Let's do things
Grim
like
Contract is a fairy tale.
Ant
That's true, but it was already
Edition.
cost one. It already cost one white, so like that doesn't.
Now it can cost white, Jeremy.
Oh, true.
Age and Schrodinger.
Ooh, Schrodinger. That's true.
Ooh.
Cage of Mother Goose, is that a fairy tale?
Age. Yeah.
That is, but
Double white?
yeah.
Double white for Cage of Mother Goose. That's not bad.
Or you just pay the
Or
alternative
you just
cost.
play for free as well.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
play the mastery.
Yeah.
So we definitely do have fairy tale spells. Like
Yeah.
for instance, Infinite Matchsticks is a fairy tale chant.
Oh,
White
my
Million
God.
Burn, let's go, baby!
Oh my
Matchstick
God.
Million, baby!
Matchstick Millions, let's go!
The split Snow White, the Apple Avengers
ooh,
side,
That's
is
on
also
that's
now.
pretty good. That's pretty
Fairy
good.
Tale Moon is
Interesting.
a green edition,
Fairy Tale Moon. Okay.
and
That,
yeah, I mean that's about it. That's about all I would say
cool.
is really
Yeah.
really.
yeah, neat.
Still mad Adelbert didn't get mana fixing on his J Ruler side. Yeah, but Adelbert also has Little Adelbert, which is like the most busted thing he could ever want on his J Ruler side. So it's okay. I get it. I wanted it too. Stealth Adelbert is cracked for J Ruler Adelbert, especially when you make him have every attribute.
It's fine.
Just pay 2 over the course of 2 turns. Do a bunch of shit. Have a good time. I mean, like, again, we gotta obviously wait and see what other cards that Millium is going to get. But like even this out the jump is really good. really good. Cause like a lot of the Forza cards were only ever good when you could roll multiple die. But when you could roll multiple die, they got really good. Right? Like this is crazy. Oh, Kyric's training ground. Is Kyric's training ground Force 1? Oh, with the new CR? Oh, God.
Agni Rudra and Millium.
Yeah, actually,
Well, they wouldn't be able to be resonance or revolution, so you wouldn't be able to burn the board or whatever. But
yeah, for sure,
they'd get real big real fast.
It's always been a force effect. So yeah,
Kyric's training ground roll 2d6 every single time you put a J-Res into the field. Great. Oh boy,
that's insane.
That's really good.
That's insane.
6 fish. Fish.
6 fish.
We're doing the randomizing. We're gonna play doll. So in this deck, we're playing Dolly. We're playing Fish. We're playing Kyric's training ground. We're playing blue, red. Somehow white Millium aggro. Sure.
It could happen.
No Dolly. No Dolly. Only dice. There is no Dolly. Only dice.
The true Giga Chad deck.
So Subruler
roller.
with the Pandora, you'd be able to roll 3 dice, right? With the Pandora, with the Will of Hope Pandora. It's a lot. It's a lot of dice. Okay, so tinfoil hat time.
Oh,
We didn't have a ton of spoilers this week, but we did have some really good ones. Some really kind of interesting Paul, Jesus. but some good ones. So we at this point in time have 1 sub-ruler left to see, 2 extension rules left to see, and 4 fate cards left to see, according to the sell sheet. So that's 6. Or no, 7 things. 1, 2, 4. We know from the sell sheet that the other sub-ruler is most likely the Sherry, which is probably for the books, I would imagine. That makes sense. And I would say that from the perspective of Riula here is very clearly a sub-ruler for both Milliums, so I feel confident in taking a stab in the dark that somehow the books are going to be able to work together. I don't know. Is that too tinfoil hatty for me? I don't know. I get that vibe. So we cross the books off the list. We've already talked about Dark Tree's probably not getting anything in terms of a sub-ruler or an extension rule. So that leaves us with 2 extension rules and 4 aids. Mikage's probably getting one if it falls in the line with the other content creators, right? Where the company spoiled the Marvel rare and the content creator got to do a fate card plus the super rare. That's one. So then that leaves us with, who's left? Val 3, Charlotte, Glorious, Lunya.
Lumia.
Lumia already has a fate card, though.
Oh, right.
So she's probably not going to get another one, right? So that leaves us with
Kaguya?
Kaguya, K4. Right?
Mhm.
So that leaves us with Val 3, K4, Lunya, Glorious, Charlotte. Well, who else? Am I missing someone?
I'll look them up.
Yeah. Look up who hasn't gotten anything. Like the rulers for
I'm gonna try.
you. Oh God, yeah, you can't do it with. The Guardians are not in the deck. The Guardians are not getting any love in this set. The Vin 3 cards.
That's everyone.
The Shadow Wizard Money Gang over here says Val 3 will get something broken.
Val 3.
Shadow Wizard Money.
So that gives us 3 fate cards. 3 fate cards. If we're assuming that Mikage is getting a fate card, right? That leaves us with 3 fate cards and 2 extension rules.
Books.
Books we assumed is probably going to be this. We're tinfoil hatting that it's the Sherry sub-ruler. So that crosses our
No. Books can't happen. Forceful players don't read. Next question.
Continue on.
We have not seen anything for Yggdrasil yet.
That we already talked about. Probably not going to get anything in terms of an extension rule or anything for Dark Tree.
Alhamat.
Alhamat. He got one in the last set. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. K4.
K4.
We saw Priscilla. No dragons. Glorious. Val 3.
Val 3.
Charlotte.
Saw Wukong, Umir,
Lunya.
Mikage. And
Lunya.
Yeah, Lunya.
It's just those 5, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we got 5 rulers for 2 extension rules and 3 sub-rulers.
Math is mathing.
So Glorious, Charlotte,
Books.
Val 3, K4, Lunya. Who gets what? Shot in the dark. Who gets what? Shinpo, who's getting what? Who's getting fate cards? Who's getting extension rules? Who's getting extension rules? Who's getting fate cards?
Well, off the sell sheet when it initially dropped, when we saw the white-black sub-ruler, my guess was initially this is going to be for the books.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's my one.
Yep, okay. So we've got 2 extension rules and 3 fate cards left. Who's getting what?
And then I think off that image that you talked about a few podcasts ago with Lumia and Lunya, like I think that the company who has it up, that image on fowtcg.com right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where it's like it could be a Lumia Lunya tag.
Okay. So an extension rule for Lumia Lunya. We're calling that one. Okay. This is a called shot. Keep in mind, this is 100% tinfoil hat. We don't know. Like, we're just pure speculation.
And then K4, I'm not too familiar with K4.
Sure.
Like, I mean, I'm not still like
Okay.
Does she have? Is there any like? Is she tied to any of the other?
Not really. You
lore?
think maybe you could partner her with Zero, but like Zero already has her fate card, right? So like that doesn't.
Okay. So then my guess she probably gets the sub ruler.
Okay. A fate card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Val tied to Glorious or Charlotte in any way?
Val 3 is not tied to any of them. If anything, she would have been something tied to Priscilla, but Priscilla got a
And
sub-ruler.
Priscilla got her sub-ruler. So, I mean, I guess that then we do like... And then Glorious and Charlotte are sisters, right?
They are sisters.
So then, like, I think that...
You think that's you think that's an extension rule for Glorious Charlotte?
Yeah.
Okay, Paul's agreeing, nodding in his hat. So is Mike. Okay, so okay. Glorious Lumia sub-rulers, or like an extension rule for Glorious plus Lumia. That would be interesting. That'd be interesting.
Are they tied together like
No,
at all?
not at
No?
all. So that would be out of
Okay.
left field. That would be out of left field. Okay, so just to recap, Shunpo's guess is we have, again, 2 extension rules, 3 fate cards, and a sub-ruler left to talk about. Shunpo thinks the sub-ruler is the books, Lumia Lunya is getting an extension rule, then Charlotte Glorious getting an extension rule. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of these guesses. And then Val 3 and K4 both getting a fate card. Am I off on my total of what the sell sheet has for number of fate cards? Because that would leave us with 1 extra fate card, and that covers all the rulers.
It'd either be Yggdrasil or Alhamat.
Yggdrasil or
Alhamat is the
Alhamat.
fate card.
Yeah, okay. A fate card for Yggdrasil, maybe? I mean, I'm purely speculating that I don't think Yggdrasil's going to get a fate card. Like, I genuinely don't think so, but I might be wrong there.
It's already got an extension rule.
Right, that's
so-
what I'm saying. Like, it already has an extension rule, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to also get a fate card.
Unless it did.
Unless it did. You don't think Lumia will get something, though, because she already has a fate card? Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, his idea of Lunya plus Lumia together as an extension rule would make sense, I think. Mikage has been shown... we were also speculating that
and
one of them.
Mikage.
We were also
yeah.
well. That was it. That was
Missing-
not in my calculus. We were also speculating that Mikage was going to be one of the fate cards because of how the like content creator spoilers have been shaped up so far. Right? We each got
Oh, that's
like
real.
only
That's
Foul
real.
TCG got a sub ruler for
Right.
Priscilla plus a super rare, and we got a super rare plus a fate card for Fox. And the spoiler for Mikage from the company was only the Marvel rare, which makes me think that the super rare and the fate card are with the other content creator, right? So like, again, we're tinfoil like Pepe Sylvia, like we're going, the crazy theories are all about here. But I think we're starting to put together the puzzle of what this set's gonna look like, and I'm pretty excited about it. We have a Gil Alhamat for the starter deck. You think they're gonna give support? I don't think he's in there. I don't think
That's
historical
Rhea
Gil.
Cluster.
That is Rhea Cluster as well. Yeah, that's outside of Lapis Cluster.
That doesn't stop them before. Just saying. It would be cool to get something for Gil Alhamat that... I mean, he already has the Fate card.
That
but
fate
just
card is
something
insane good, though.
The Fate card is incredibly good. But, like, also... I mean, the whole thing about the Lost Tomes is that this is, like, what happened if Gil got the Ultra Magic Stone and became, all like, amazing and stuff. And evil. So like the whole like paradox stuff, like tying things back together, different timelines.
Mhm.
I would like something there
Tree
to like,
would
tie those stories together.
Tree would get an XR only. He can't flip. Yeah, that makes sense. So he can't possibly get a fate. It'd have to be a sub ruler. And Tree already has an XR. Yeah. Maybe I'm miscounting how many fate cards we already have versus how many the sell sheet is. Maybe I'm just miscounting, which is very possible. But we'll find out if we're right in the next 2 weeks.
Yes,
No one said you can't have 2 XRs.
it's true.
I mean, that's fair. Tina technically has 2 XRs. So I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. Give K4 spoilers. Give me Val spoilers, man.
Yes.
I think if we don't have Val 3 spoilers by next week, Mike's gonna have a conniption.
I'm just glad my friend in the chat and my friend on the pod are agreeing that we need more water spoilers. I think that's absolutely the case. We need more water spoilers.
Yeah. Overall, though,
No,
I mean,
Valentina, I
agree.
riot.
okay, so Mike's gonna riot next week. So I do want to say, after another week of spoilers, even though it wasn't much, now that we've kind of started to solve the puzzle, I'm still pretty hyped about this set. I'm still pretty excited about what what's coming. I'm excited about to see the differences between Paradox and Wanderer format. We're going to host, I think at this point in time, I have officially decided that the next Discord Ruler School Circuit event is going to be Paradox format. I've decided. I think it'll be a
Like
fun.
right now?
I just decided it right now. It's my event. I host it the way I want. So the next Ruler School Circuit for the Skib Dis Met, I think is going to be Paradox format. Not even I think. It is going to be Paradox format. So
Shadow Wizard Money
Skip
Gang
toilet
has
mat
to create-
paradox.
So there you go. Day 1 Paradox, Day 2 Wanderer. No, stop. Get out of here. I'm not gonna do Listen, okay, Logan, hear me out. You can start trying to
Battle
call.
pack draft.
You can start trying to call shots on my tournaments on Discord when you start signing up for them. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Day 1's paradox. Top 8's wanderer. Top 2 is cube.
how would I do a cube draft via Discord?
Don't worry about
Top one
it.
is ABC.
Don't worry about it.
Logan, I am hosting one in person. It's called Fow Fest. And also, you could get your store owner to buy a Fow circuit kit whenever they go online. It's not my fault. Games and Geek doesn't buy circuit kits. You don't think Glorious and Charlotte will tag together as both do different things from discarding? That's true. Yeah, that's fair. Still got a lot of things to figure out. I mean, it could be a backdoor. Like, we could see an extension rule that's actually Lunya plus Umir. Because the Cthulhu's working together.
Because
Cthulhu's working together, right? Like, that could be it. So, we'll see.
All Cthulhu's are also sea monsters in all zones.
And on that note, thank you all so much for watching. I have survived. My hands are free and safe. And we have made it through another podcast. We will be back. We check out this week. We do have a feature match featuring, I believe this week is Laika versus Giotto, I think is what I have. And we'll have deck profiles for the Laika list up later this week. More stuff coming as we get closer, including Crossing Point Garmheld as a feature match for next week. That one's a fun one. I think you guys will enjoy it. And if you haven't already, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, be sure to get your pre-orders in through any of our wonderful sponsors for this next set, because it's going to be a doozy. And until next time, this has been myself, DMO73, and I've been joined, as always, by Paul Reisman,
Darth Coconut.
Mike Rance,
Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
and Shunpo.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye. Class dismissed.